attached to a lifeline from the shore. But they don't always have to brave the cold open seas when learning new skills, since the underwater teams even have their very own portable ocean in a tank which they use for training and taking to shows around the country. Most of the divers' day-to-day work involves diving in shallow, muddy rivers, scouting suitable sites for bridges. But up here they can go to much greater depths without leaving dry land. This German Navy decompression chamber allows them to experience the effects of a deep dive. Today the chamber simulates a dive of 50 metres. At such a depth the men suffer from nitrogen narcosis, which makes their voices squeaky and causes other strange feelings.
Yeah, it's a bit of a feeling. You understand that you get the feeling coming on nitrogen narcosis. There's a feeling of drunkenness and high energy.
So it's probably a bit cheaper than buying 8 pints.
Well, it is, and as a rule we make a habit of telling jokes down here and thoroughly enjoying ourselves, but because you're on the camera, we're having to act sober, so there you go.
Well, how about telling us a joke now?
Oh, well. Have you heard the one about the nun and the skinhead on the train?
But many of the duties carried out by the underwater teams are no laughing matter. Today's weather may fool you into believing the divers have an idyllic job, but the norm is wading through the sewers of Northern Ireland, searching for bombs.
We've been quite lucky, as in we never found what we was looking for. So you know that's. But we still have to keep checking to make sure that certain items ain't floated on the police stations, etc., and bases.
Do you ever have to look for bodies and things like that?
Yeah. When I was in Belize, the diving team got called out down south to look for one of Belize Defence Force soldiers who was taking part in a river crossing.
Yeah.
When he just sunk and never came back up again. And so the diving team had to go out and recover his body.
The lads there of 28 Amphibious Engineer Regiment. Now, my Sunday afternoons here in Rheindahlem aren't generally the most exciting of affairs. After 2 hours on the radio, my time is normally spent watching the big match, followed by feet up as Angie and Den battered out in the Queen Vic. But recently, my Sunday tranquility and that of the Garrison Parade Square here in Rheindahlem was shattered by the arrival of a stunt circus, which for some reason had chosen JHQ to preview its new show that's going to be spending the summer touring the UK and the continent. Called the Hollywood Stunt Show, it does some 200 performances every year, using top stuntmen from all over the world. And with the crowds flocking in, I arrived just in time to see Brazilian driver Joe Williams demonstrating how best to do a U-turn. Although there was a nasty, gusty wind blowing, it didn't stop Dutch stuntman Rainer Lemien risking life and limb on the high wire. Then, 50 metres above the enthralled crowd without a safety net, he performed some death-defying acrobatics on a rather unstable-looking tower. One of the other highlights of the show was a chance to take part in some of the stunts yourself. Here we go. I'm told I'm going to be taken up on 2 wheels with Joe Williams here. If anybody can take me up on 2 wheels, he can. James Bond stuntman. So, Joe, I'm ready for you now.
All right.
Right, so here we go. 2 wheels. And fingers crossed. I'm not sure I'm going to like this. Well, I'm glad I only had a light breakfast here. We must be at an angle of about, oh, I don't know, 60, 70 degrees. And this is not exactly the easiest bit of driving in the world. But Joe is a man who's done a lot of this work. He's done a lot of stunts in James Bond films and numerous other movies. So at least I'm in safe hands. We're accelerating away here and... Oh! Well, that was...
Okay, let's hear some response. Joe Williams.
Thank you very much.
On the Bilaspora television.
Well, I didn't do much, but it was a lot of fun. Joe, thank you very much indeed. But the most dangerous stunt of the day was performed by an ex-Royal Military policeman, Steve Johnson. Steve is strapped into a car ready to be dropped some 35 metres onto other cars piled up on the ground, a stunt he's performed successfully over 300 times.
For a normal driver, it's like driving at a brick wall at 70 miles an hour. And because of the angle of the car and that, my body weight increases 10 times on impact. It's not just a case of going in line in the car and being took up there and come down. While I'm up there, I'm continuously testing the belts. I must get all the slack out of them because when I come down, I take the full weight of my body on my hands. If there's any slack there, that's when I damage the muscles in my back.
And if you thought that looked spectacular, you should see it from Steve's point of view.
Yeah! Okay. He's okay. Applause for Steve Johnson, Great Britain.
Well, rather him than me, I must say, but having been a passenger in a car when my mother was learning to drive, it would take a lot more than just going up on two wheels with a stuntman to put the wind up me now. Anyway, that's all in this month's show. We look forward to seeing you once again on the first Tuesday in June. In the meantime, though, from all of the Scene Here crew, take care and bye-bye for now.
Let's roller. Might get rid of Elkin. Elkin? Are you serious? I can't work it out though, that's the trouble. No ideas? No. Except I thought your father might know something. My father? No, listen.
Am I supposed to recognize that?
I thought it might be Indian music.
Indian? I'll try not to be insulted.
Oh, Pratap, if your ears aren't used to classical ragas, it does sound a bit the same.
I didn't mean to, you know.
Oh, it's not a bad guess. It might sound like that to a deaf person, but to a trained ear, it isn't.
Yeah.
It's him. Upstairs.
It's Brian. What? Oh, come on. Oh, hold on.
You may come in. I keep my ink bottle locked away these days.
Sorry about that, Squire. Told you it was an accident.
What do you want? Money?
No, darling. I know your payments don't fall till next week. Ain't after that. It's, something else I've come for as it happens.
We don't do repairing of electrical goods.
Nah. I want you to listen to a tune. That's all. Indian. Sounds like, anyhow. Only, if you know it, I'm going to let you off next week's insurance. Generous, isn't I?
Said who's the printers? Now what would he be wanting in there? To be tape recorder to take a note of his transactions, eh?
Want to hear it again? Only it's worth it too if you do know it. You, won't just be doing me a favour.
I can't remember. I would, but
Wait a minute, please. Yes, you remember, Pratap, that beautiful film we saw in the video.
What was it? You remember?
How could I forget? Such a sad ending. You know, Pratap, the one with the little street thieves. How did it go? Across the road, across the market, across the market. That's the one. I'm pretty sure of it.
Across the market?
I'm right, aren't I? You remember, Pratap?
Only vaguely.
'Cause I'll check. I'll ask around.
You'd be very wise to do that.
But there must be some words to it. See, that's still not definite enough.
It's a couple of years old now.